How's it going, everyone? My name is Javon Oliver. I'm a graduating senior here at Texas Tech. I'll be graduating in December. And so I'm here today to talk with you guys about my interdisciplinary research. This is for the INTS 4350 class, and this is my senior thesis. So, the topic that I chose to talk about was high incarceration rates in America. I chose to talk about this because over the course of about 4 decades, starting from about 1970 to 2010, there was a high increase in incarceration rates in America. America actually leads the world in its incarceration rate, and it also leads the world in its prison population, which are a little bit different. Um, I wanted to study this because for the 40 years prior to this uptick in incarceration, there was relatively steady incarceration rates and prison population. And so something changed that triggered that fast growth. And there are a lot of researchers who wanted to discuss what they believed were the reasons or the causes for that uptick in incarceration. So, one of the main theories that is attributed to the uptick in incarceration is the criminal theory. And what the criminal theory basically says is that as crime increases, so will incarceration, which is rather intuitive. So, for about 30 years, there was a over a 300% increase in the amount of violent crime in America. And so a lot of researchers began basically saying that this is exactly what led to the increases in incarceration and is what got us here today. The problem with that is that there was no empirical evidence to suggest that there was a correlation between crime rates and incarceration rates. And so that led other researchers to basically come up with different things that they attributed the increase in incarceration to. So I'm just going to go through each one of my points and why I needed to use an interdisciplinary process, how I broke down each of these different factors, and then some of the conclusions that I came to. So first and foremost, I believe it's important to use an interdisciplinary process for this topic simply because there's a wide variety of factors that people attribute to the rise in incarceration. One being economics. Some people believe that your economic status kind of dictates or determines how criminal you're going to be. Some people believe that demographic changes in the nation caused this increase in incarceration. Other people believe that a strategic and purposeful kind of strategy was used politically to declare a war on drugs, which led to high incarceration rates. And other people, as I stated previously, believe that crime itself was the reason that incarceration rates increased. And so it was important to kind of break down which of these factors garnered the most attention from researchers, had the most robust information, and break down if these factors empirically show to contribute to incarceration. So the first the first factor that I looked at was the criminal theory because it's the most intuitive. If crime goes up, then naturally incarceration should go up. For about 30 or 40 years in America, there was an uptick in crime. Violent crime went up about over 300%. And so a lot of people naturally concluded that, hey, that uptick in crime is what led to the uptick in incarceration. The problem with that became when Bloomstein and Beck, which are two researchers, published a book in which they did kind of a statistical analysis to determine that crime rates were only impacting incarceration rates by 12%. So only 12% of the uptick in incarceration could be attributed to the uptick in crime rates. That led a flurry of other researchers to start basically saying that there were other factors at play.